Lions in the house. Ooh, I love it. I love it, Lions. Let's get started. It's going to be incredible because today I have some secret sauce to give you guys. But before I do that, I want to really just set the precedent the right way because every single week, 8 p.m. EST, every Thursday, we come together because this is the Lion's Den. This is the place that we focus on three words: brotherhood, blessings, and breakthroughs. The brotherhood between men. The only time you look down at a man is when you're picking him back up. The blessings from above are the blessings within yourself, but believe because you have to believe. And of course, the breakthroughs. It may be something I say tonight, gentlemen. It may be something another lion says, but be open to those breakthroughs because they could change your trajectory in the way that you think, the way that you speak, and the way that you connect. Today, we're going to break it down because today's topic, I really wanted to chain off of that money topic. I got a lot of responses from you lions saying, look, man, like Jay, I love the personal development. I love the mindset and just like the push and the motivation. And of course, I always talk shit a little bit about that because I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to just motivate you on a Thursday night. I'm here to give you tangible, tactful ways that you can actually maneuver in the world of connection and conversation and actually be able to change the trajectory of your life. So I wanted to run off the train of last week of your relationship with money. Now, see, if your relationship with money is correct, and we started to practice that over the last week, what's going to happen now today is about, well, how do you actually do it? Like, Jay, what's the actual secret sauce to being able to make the money now? It's awesome understanding the money. It's awesome understanding the relationship I have and the traumas that have caused me to be scarce or not want to spend 10 grand or not to, whatever it is. But right now, specifically, how do I actually go and make it? So I'm going to give you some examples, some real life tangible examples of me even actually being for the last week back home in Canada, going and closing a real estate deal, a big deal. It was a $500,000 deal. And I'm going to show you what I actually did in step-by-step process so that you guys can understand that it is a simple format. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but there is a simple standpoint to it. So attracting the ideal person, the ideal client that could change the trajectory of your business comes down to you actually understanding your business, of course. So for those business owners on the call, this is going to be very insightful. For those ones that are aspiring to be business owners, this is going to give you some framework of how you should start to view your lens. It'll expedite your journey. You can, go through some of those battle wounds without going through the battle wounds, is like what I like to say. And today was actually really interesting because today I posted some Instagram stuff. Like I've been flying like literally all day. So it's been like 10 and a half hours of me flying throughout the morning and coming here and doing all this. But one thing that was so key about that was really understanding today while I was flying, I made a post earlier. There was two posts. First of all, I made the post on napping. Okay, this is just a little side note, guys, for the Lion's Den. Napping is okay, gentlemen. Put that into your scope because napping is okay. And why I say that is because I'm getting on this plane. I'm like, I'm going to be so productive. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. And I get on the plane and the AC kind of hits me. And I'm like, you know what? I just kind of feel like putting my new Bose headphones in that my girl just bought me. And I was just like, I just kind of want to listen to some music. And I kind of dozed off. But the moral of that story is it's okay to nap, gentlemen. Nobody allows us men, especially us men, we're in this very, very conditioned world where we have to always provide and protect. I always talk about it all the time, but it's sometimes give yourself a break. Give yourself a day. Give yourself a couple of hours. It's nice to just reflect and just rejuvenate the fucking energy of being the man that you have to be every single day and the weight that you have to put on your shoulders every single day. Now, anyways, that was just my side note. I went on that riff, but my point is that I made another post today, and the post was all really just about understanding, attracting that client, right? Because one person could change the trajectory of your life. It could be on this call. It could be at your next networking event. One handshake, one new relationship, one new connection could completely change the trajectory of your life. Now, if we can say that on a level of us finding someone that could help us take it to the next level, why can't we view that as in finding somebody that could be a client that could change us forever? Somebody that could pay $1 million, $100,000. and be able to really hone in on the experience that you have and being able to have a product line that can support it. Now, my man Cullen's on the call, and Cullen is a very, very powerful man when it comes to offer creation. And he knows this very, very well, because when we start to understand today, I want to really decode how you, there he is. Today, I want to decode how you can actually create that type of verbiage to be able to speak about $1 million offer in a real life example on how I closed a $500,000 deal just this weekend. But also be able to now position that in a way where, what if you're just trying to gain an actual organic follower? What if you're actually wanting to make a difference and an impact, and you don't really care about the followers? You don't really care about the dollar value at this moment. You care more about the impact that you want to make. Well, at both standpoints, it comes down to the art of influence. So today we're going to break that down. We're going to really decode how you can go from having a $1 million offer, a $100,000 offer, a $1 offer, because we do have them. Within the next gen group of companies, we have every single tier. You guys are starting to see it now with a $1 offer that's being offered within a platform as a community, and then being able to now go into the tens, and then being able to go into the hundreds, and now the real estate, which is the millions. And that's what I'm going to break down for you guys today specifically. You see, the first thing that I want you guys, especially you business owners, especially you people that are in the world of being able to go and find a client, a transaction, commission, the world that it's moving towards, because everything is. You have to be able to be in control of your own income in this world. You cannot be in that steady 9 to 5. We've seen all the videos, and we know all about the 9 to 5. Although I will say, as a side note, find a company well branded enough. As long as they can give you the benefits, it's not going to be a 9 to 5. It's going to be a 5 to 9. JC knows what I'm talking about. We work 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day because we understand a vision. We understand what the future looks like. It's a different perspective. But when we start to understand, how do we now start to uncover who that one person could be? Are we just going to go to attend events? Are we just going to go to event after event after event? Are we going to try to just go onto social media and start posting every single day? Because trust me, I've done both. And I've spent a lot of money doing both. A lot of social media, a lot of networking events, but it wasn't purposeful because I didn't know who I was looking for. That's the key. The number one key for those that are taking notes right now, I like to give some value right here at the beginning of the call before we start to open it up to some of the guys that are on the call. And I appreciate Drew coming in the house. We got Jay Powers in the house. We got Michael. We got Felipe coming in. My man Sydney's in the house. We got a lot of guys coming in. I love that. Respect and love. Dan's in the house. My man. But when we look at this and we look, whatever business you have, whatever product or service that you are selling, there's one fundamental importance that I've learned over the 10 years of business that I really want to deliver to you guys is, we don't know who we're looking for. We want it fucking all. Like, we want to attract everyone because we want likes and we want followers and we want publicity and we want, because that's going to be impact and that's going to generate money, and then the infrastructure, and then you can help more, and we think it's a growth pattern like that, but it's actually not. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can try to find 100 people that are going to pay us $100, or we can find one person, 10 people that are going to pay us 10,000, 100,000, if we can understand value. Myron Golden is one of the kings of this, if y'all know who Myron Golden is. And I always bring him up because when he charges $850,000, I think it's about $850,000, right? Is that what it is, JC? I think it's about $850K or something like that for one day of his coaching. Something like that. It's like, when you look at $850,000 this man can charge for one day, 8 hours of his coaching, what can he do? What can he deliver? Why would a multi-millionaire pay him that much? Value. But value has to come from understanding how to define the persona. So the first rule today is define the persona. Have you gotten super freaking clear? Have you gotten super, super clear on exactly the one person based on the product or service that you have, that one ideal person that could come in and be the most ideal client? Now, I'm not talking just demographics. People talked about demographics. Okay, so how old are they? What's the age group? Are they married? Do they have kids? What's this? okay, sure, demographics matter. I get it. What about psychographics? What about what they like to think about? What about the movies that they choose on Netflix? What about, are they a beer drinker or a wine drinker? What about the actual thought patterns that they have, the vehicle choice that they made? Why did they get the minivan versus the sedan? See, when we get into people's thought patterns now, we start to actually understand how people can think. And when we can understand our ideal personas thought patterns versus just knowing that they're a male between 35 and 55 and they want to, uncage their roar and be a part of a brotherhood. If we can get super locked in on the thought patterns that they have, then we can speak to them. And we can speak to them and we can also listen. See, when we understand this, that the idealistic avatar for your business and your offer specifically is out there. Someone in the world has done what you think that you're capable of doing. And if you aren't, fair enough. Keep hoping and praying to be the next Steve Jobs. That's cool. But at the end of the day, if you actually can understand and put the ego aside, especially us men, and say, look, what I'm trying to achieve has been accomplished by somebody else, which means it's actually feasible. It has been accomplished. Now, I just now need to understand that, develop that, and then be able to replicate it. And if I decide to take that on a 10x level, that's my own prerogative. That's my own thought pattern. That's my own creativity that I'm going to apply to it in my own generation. And this is such a key that most people forget about, is the persona of who you're looking for. We're trying to create products and services and try to sell shit online. I'll tell you right now, without even looking at what is the market actually looking for. You know how many people are in credit rapport right now? Credit building and business lending and all this stuff. You know, the market's about to slowly, you've seen what's happened in the stock market. You see what's happening before an election's about to happen. Things are already declining. There's instinctive attitude of just energy. And people are like, oh, I'm in this business. What is your product? Who are you selling to? What solution is that what is the solution to the problem that you're solving? Just going back to Calgary, it just brings me back to Calgary because I love Calgary. For those of you, my Canadians that are on the call, love and respect. But being back in Calgary this last week was interesting because I went to go back to get a couple of real estate deals done. And the interesting thing about these real estate deals is I'm a commercial real estate developer, for those that don't know. So I build commercial retail strip malls. So I will buy a piece of land, about a half an acre to an acre. I'll buy the piece of land. I will then build a building on top of it, 6,000, 20,000 square feet, single story. And then I'll start leasing it out to just small retail businesses, a pizza shop, doctor's office, liquor store, that kind of business, right? So I've been doing it for about 10 years. So I'm going back and I'm about to close a deal with a daycare now. Now, I've gone through many different tenant profiles. I've hired a real estate agent because I've been out here mobily in the US. So it's very hard. I don't ever exclusively list with anyone. A lot of my real estate fam from Canada will understand that because I do it myself. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to hire a firm, good to go. So they're bringing me in leads. Leads that are qualified. A liquor store. I'm like, okay, look, long story short, I just sold the building across the street. So I just built and sold a building across the street for $3.5 million. Okay, it already has a liquor store in it. So now my real estate agent is bringing me a liquor store opportunity. Okay, do I want to just close the deal and make money? Or do I actually want to be integrity with my business acumen? So I decline it. There's a liquor store across the street. He's like, yeah, but they're willing to pay. And I'm like, I don't give a shit if they're willing to pay. The point is the principle. The principle is there's a liquor store across the street. I just built a building and sold it. He's like, but you don't own the building anymore. So it's not I'm like, this is how people transact business. Anyways, so we're going through different tenants coming in, different tenants. And literally my building has been, those 2 bays have been vacant for about maybe almost 3 years, or even during the pandemic, because I kept it that way. I need a right tenant profile. Going back to the ideal avatar, I need the right person to come in that's going to commit the right way, that's actually going to serve that, not only the plaza, but serve the community, because that's how involved I am with the Airdrie community. So perfect. Finally, we get a daycare. I'm working with the daycare now. There's a little bit of stipulations. Oh, they need an outdoor playground built. They need some things that need to be passed from the city. There's a little bit of, there's a little bit of friction. I was like, perfect, let's solve it. I like a daycare. There's already a Montessori there. There's a children's, like clothing store there. There's a pizza shop now in there. I was like, you know what? This actually, I would love a daycare to take both those spaces. What's the friction? Well, the friction is they need play area. They need play area in the back, and there's a certain amount of square footage that they need for the play area in the back. So I was like, okay, perfect. And I was like, so what's the issue? Well, they don't really want to take the cost of it. I was like, perfect. I'll take the cost of it. You see, that simply, I can understand the tenant profile that I want. Why wouldn't I take a cost on that? Why wouldn't I build out a little playground in the back and actually improve my own land value as well? Why wouldn't I work with this tenant that's now taking 2,140 square feet from my building now, paying me about, on average, it's actually 539,400 was the total contract value. Over a $500,000 contract value sold this weekend because it was the right person at the right time with the right placement. I'm okay to wait a year, 2 years, pay 10% interest like I was back in the day when we were raising millions of dollars at, over 2 beers, like those crazy stories that I share with you guys. But I want you guys to really understand that's how important it is for you to not just be stressed about the focus of, I want it right now. I want it right now. Where's my client right now? Like sit back, relax, do the fucking work, figure out who it is that you're actually looking for. One person that could actually change, 10 people that could change, versus trying to sift out these thousands and thousands and millions of people out there. That's my first lesson, guys. When I go into the second one now is, of course, like, you can attract people into your world. We're in the lion's den. I test you guys all the time to put your cameras on, to show up, to, ask questions, to be able to, get your roar out there. But it's like, you have to have an offer. Like my man Felipe, for example, right now, like my man Felipe is traveling all over the world as a DJ, as just like adventurous, and he's doing amazing things. But like, you have to now be able to capitalize off of that. You got to be able to now figure out what is it that I'm actually channeling somebody into. And that doesn't mean that it has to be something like profitable, right? Like he's in the music industry. And Felipe, I'm gonna get to you in a quick second here. Okay, I'm gonna bring you in. But what that really means though is like, what is it that you actually have to offer? Now, when I go and sit with people, I now am at the level where I can have multiple offers. And that's what I'm going to decode a little bit more further in a second. But at the end of the day, right now, specifically, if I sit down with somebody that's in real estate, I do have Next Gen Properties. My company, Next Gen Properties, has an offer that's 1 million plus that will give you 3 things. It'll give you a return on your investment, it'll secure your investment, and it'll give you an exit clause. It's just that simple. We look at $1 million plus, and we can get you into the commercial retail game. That's Next Gen Properties. Next Gen Wealthy, however, now is at $100,000 level. Our consulting agency now is able to scale you as a business entrepreneur using technology and communication in the most fundamental ways, especially in this era that we live in. Simple. We can scale up to 100K. And then, of course, we have Lions Den. Next Gen Collective, a collective of people that can come together to start with $1 to then eventually show you the $100,000 masterminds I'm going to tell you about. And now, Felipe, we're going to bring you in for this because Felipe is going to be doing DJ set and jumping off of hot air balloons during these events. That's for the real lions that are going to come in, that we're going to go across the world and do some crazy shit. I know you, bro. We're going to talk. But I want you guys to understand is, what is your offer? Creating that offer is something that's so powerful. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $100 or $1,000. You have to be able to transact. How quick can you transact? Like if I came to you right now, every single guy on the call right now, if I came to you right now and I was like, let's go, bro. I have money in hand. Sell me. Sell me. What are you selling me? How much is it? And if I had a black card right now, I'm an unlimited customer right now. What are you selling me? What are you selling me? What's your offer? What is it? And is it going to be just like $100 offer? Is it going to be $1,000 offer? Is it going to be $1 million offer? What is it that you are actually going to bring to the table when you have a Shark Tank, Dragon's Den type of opportunity? That's why your offer is very important. Knowing who you're speaking to is step 1, but knowing how you speak to them now is step 2. And this is where I'm going to break down step 3 for you guys, because step 3 is not only just choosing that offer once you have that offer now, right? Now you can articulate that offer. What do you do with that offer now? Because not only are you going around, now you're interacting with people. Now you're traveling the world. Now you're connecting with some of the hottest DJs in Europe. Now you're going around and you're shaking hands with people on the street. Now you're going out and finding potential clients. Now you're going out to the bars and you're saying, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, let's get connected right now. So what do you do with all that information? You have to have a system to maintain that now. This is by far one of the biggest learning lessons over the last 10 years and millions of dollars spent in trial and error. I will give you guys a secret sauce right now. Get a system to manage your contacts. I don't care. We don't have a lead problem. Everyone's like, oh, I need leads, bro. I need more leads. People are selling me leads for my business. No, you don't need leads. What you need to do is you need to organize all of the people that you've met and all the people that you've accumulated, and all the people that you actually had an interaction with that have already had a touch point on you. And you now need to create a system and make sure that the system can follow you up to now ensuring that you can recoup those relationships and then bring a proper offer to the table. This is how money is made. You don't need to go and create a brand new business. You don't need to go and run out there and chase every new, fad that's out there saying, this is the new get rich quick. Should I do an FBA account? Should I do none of that shit. You need to figure out what you're good at, what you're skillful at, package that the right way, or partner around a brand that already has it established where you can align with that vision. And then you just get to work, man. This generation is so lost from work right now because all of us men on this call, we want to work. We understand that. That's why we show up on the lion's den. We're fucking fierce lions that want to fucking roar. But the whole population ain't like that. And we're seeing it worse and worse, and it's declining more and more and more. I was talking to a gentleman just at the bar earlier today, and I was like, it's crazy. Like a strong man with a wife and kids is like almost becoming obsolete. Like that's actually in our generation is not really connecting anymore. I'm like, that's fucked. Because we're losing our power thinking that money is gonna be our savior. Money is gonna put the roof. Yes, it's gonna put the roof on the head. Absolutely. Yes, it's gonna put food on the table. Absolutely. 100% respectfully agree with that. 100% agree. But the one thing that money is not doing or what it is doing is it's like the fucking carrot in front of the donkey right now. I'm like, fucking just, when am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? Why do we do this to ourselves? Especially us men, we force ourselves to do this. Like, I'm going to get the carrot. One day I'm going to get the, I keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. But it's like, that's not how it actually needs to be. Like, you're actually a fucking hidden gem. Like you're actually doing something incredible. You're a powerful man right now. You're already like above probably like 80% of now what is considered a fucking high value man. So we have to understand how we go out there and actually transact these things now, how to create these offers for our businesses in the most compelling ways, to be able to really understand the fundamentals of not only just creating that offer, but being able to find the right person to present that offer to. I go back to Myron Golden because when I see guys like Myron and I see guys like Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and these guys that are on stages, charging hundreds of thousands of dollars for hours of their time. All they've done is just packaged their experience in the right way. Don't get me wrong, they have profound experience, which allows them to charge the numbers that they're charging. But if you look at it, the most highest paid profession in the world right now is speaking. John Maxwell is $125,000 for 90 minutes of his time. Tony Robbins is about $750,000 for about 3 hours of his time, $250,000 an hour. So, bringing this back to last week's conversation of owning your worth is understanding your value. And that takes time. It takes effort. It takes you having to go down and actually break your fucking ego down and actually get into your subconscious level and start working on things that you really don't want to work on. Because it's hard and it sucks. I'm telling you that from experience. It sucks. But the more that you continuously push yourself, the more that you start to train, it's like an elastic band. You start to actually stretch it out. It's a muscle. You start to pump it. And when we look at this, especially this world that we're living in, even here right now, all the lines that are on the call right now, like Joseph, we got Mr. Brown in the house, we got Adam, Carlos, Justin. You guys are on this call right now because something has attracted you towards it. Something stirred you towards saying, okay, you know what? I want to learn a little bit more. So you're on this call for a reason. And those that watching the recording as well too, I want to give you some respect. But it's like being here live on 1 hour, this alone is showing your capability. Most can't do just this consistently. That's why I do this every single week. I do this every single week, no matter what, because I just want to see consistency. I've done it for 2 years. Just doing something consistent. This is the game that we're playing right now, with the game of sales, with the game of making money, finding that ideal avatar and being able to sell them, is that we're not consistent with it. We just want it. And then we get excited when we get it. I tell you, man, see, this is what I mean. Beautiful technology, man. He was on a roll, though. I wanted to give him that. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to actually be able to, take that energy. And guys, I encourage you guys to do the same. I encourage you to actually jump on these calls, to be able to, raise your hands and to be able to push it. Now we're gonna kind of move on, and I see you coming back in, but I want us to really, guys, just take this opportunity, learn from what you're seeing the Lions experience. So many times we go to conferences and we go to different things and we're trying to learn, but we're not actually shown by real life experience. We're just shown like, here's the 3 steps. And don't get me wrong, I gave you some good fundamentals today. I broke down some notes. I broke down something, that you can actually fundamentally utilize throughout the week, some tactful ways, but you have to be able to experience that in the heartache. They say, as a speaker, there's a saying for speakers. It's the more you speak, the more you speak. When I was 21 years old and I was deathly scared of public speaking, it was incredible, because I would go to those conferences and I would sit in the back of the room and I would take pages of notes. And as soon as they said, oh, done, like networking time, I'd be the first one out, jump into my Range Rover and I would drive away. Boom. Like, I was so deathly scared of that. And then I realized, okay, look, the only way to now build this is to keep pushing myself. I was like, oh, death is number 2 on the fear list. People would rather, So people would rather die versus public speaking. Like, public speaking is number 1. Really? I have to overcome this. And focusing on my energy of communication over the last decade now has really positioned me in the way of not only just being able to articulate, not only just being able to, put the words together the right way, but it's about having energy to the words. It's about putting pizzazz and power and presence behind it. That's what I really like. When I always focus so much on communication. I'm gonna bring JC in a second, because JC is another example of just a speaker in the making. This guy, he's so focused on what he's doing with just being able to take his voice. He does something incredible every single morning. And when we go back to the consistency side of things, I want to give him a shout out, because consistency, yes, is like me showing up on a Lions Den call every Thursday. It doesn't matter what time zone I'm in, what country I'm in, doesn't matter. I show up on this call every single Thursday. That's it. It goes back to even what I'm teaching you guys today. Consistency is hard because you're going to get swayed away. You're going to get swayed to things that may intrigue you. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the shiny object syndrome will come up. Things will present themselves where it's an incredible deal, and we want to move ourselves towards it, and we want to make sure that we can focus on letting go of certain aspects to get that one win. But one thing that we also need to understand is that experience comes from doing that. I was 18. I had to go and experience shit. I had to go and fall. I had to go sit in a jail cell before I realized, okay, damn, this life sucks. I don't want to be in a jail cell in my life. Pivotal moments come in. So these are experiences on a weekly basis that we do here on the Lions Den for us to really come together as the brothers that we are. So gentlemen, for those that are on the call today, for those that are going to be watching in the recording, I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you for investing in yourself by being here. I want you to be more vocal. I want you to come in and actually utilize this platform. But nonetheless, I'm going to continuously show up and add as much value as I possibly can. Like I told you guys earlier today, I got $1 offer. I have $100,000 offer. I got $1 million offer. We got shit to sell you for days. And if you're interested in those things, you'll contact us and we'll talk. I'm not here to sell on this call, but I am here to sell you the event. I am here to tell you if you are going to be in the Tampa area on August 25th and that weekend, actually 24th, I'm going to be a keynote speaker at the Young Sharks event. And then on the Sunday, we do a Lions Den event where we're going to be doing cigars. We're going to have a beautiful dinner. It's going to be exclusive. It's going to be for people to come in person so we can shake hands. We can get to know each other. We can see what the bottlenecks are to your businesses, and we can truly transform where you're at. So Lions, my kings on the call, gentlemen, love and respect for being on the call today. And I will see you all next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. EST, baby. Let's go.